Before you get a girl completely hooked in a situation where she starts asking you questions and starts wanting to get to know you more, you need to get her to invest. If a girl interacts with a guy and she is into him, she could start asking questions and things like that. But there are many ways to get her to start doing that process and, in a way, invest herself into the interaction. And usually investment takes the form of a woman coming into your space. So, for example, if a girl is walking and you want to open her, you want to pre-open her by making eye contact and smiling, and then you want to just usher her over. If you just wave her over and she comes over and starts talking to you, she is now so invested in everything you have to say. She will be asking you questions about it, and it's very easy for her to be in your world in that interaction, right? She's in your space and you get to govern that kind of space. And usually if that's the case, there's a bit of a value dynamic, and she's going to want to get to know you a little bit better. Another great example would be if you're already speaking with the girl, like to look at her necklace and say, come over here, I just want to see something. And then, usher her over slightly to the side of you, just pick up her necklace, have a look at it, and kind of look up and just put your eyebrows up, right? Just be like, what can you tell me about it? Don't ask her that, but do that first. And she should naturally just want to answer what you're talking about. And if she doesn't, then you can ask her about it. You can be like, what's the story behind this necklace, right? And then she's kind of invested. So she's moved into your space and she's now more invested in the interaction. Another great way you can do this is if you catch her eye while opening, and then you just point to somewhere in the room and you just make her look at something. If there's anything interesting in the room, now her gaze is following wherever you're pointing. She's now invested in the interaction to the point that she's willing to do kind of things that you're telling her to do, in a way, right? Most men fail with women simply because the woman they actually want, the woman they're attracted to, won't even have an elongated interaction with them like that. And then even if they ever get that interaction, they mess it up and they never get a second chance. And so things like this will really help you keep that interaction going. Now, once she's invested in the situation, there comes a moment, it's called a hook, where she's just hooked. Now, this usually happens when she starts asking questions about you. She wants to start getting to know you. Now, sometimes the hook can happen straight away if a woman sees you and is instantly attracted to you, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it's unexplainable, but really it's when she gets, like, a woman's sexuality is like a crank, right? And so something's happened. Maybe you touched on some certain topics and now she's interested in you and she just wants to ask you questions and get to know you. And once you're in that stage, it's very easy to just, keep it going and then eventually get her contact details and meet up for a second date. And so to get to the hook, you really want to make sure you nail your fundamentals. That's your style, your body language, your tonality, the way that you present yourself, your assertiveness. There's a bunch of these fundamentals that I will be going over in later videos. But if you just master your fundamentals, don't talk too much about yourself. Ask her more questions about her. Don't really get yourself involved in that situation, because if you ask her loads of questions about her, it's only natural she starts asking you questions about you. And investment is a significant part of hooking. So if you want to get her onto the hook, as you could say, you are going to want to do something called repartee and rapport.